Okay. Hi everyone. Am I audible? You can write in the chat, then we can start with the session. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll wait for another couple of minutes and then we'll start with the session. Okay. Hi, Abdul. Hi. Okay. So people are joining. Okay, meanwhile, you can write in the chat, guys, like, is it your first boot camp of the game development, or you guys already have attended the multiple boot camps or any other stuff? You can write in the chat. Okay, so, ठीक है. I'm waiting, guys. Write in the chat, please. First one. Okay. I hope this will be the best one. Uh, ठीक है. ठीक है, everyone. Yes, first one. Okay, Abdul, got it. ठीक है. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the another boot camp. And this time we came up with the game development boot camp. And this boot camp is of 2 days, where the day one and day two sessions are there, and where mentor is going to teach you and help you to build the project from the day one itself, like from the today itself. So moving forward, so what we can do here is key. I'll give you the small briefing about what exactly CipherSchools is all about, and a small intro to the product page, जहाँ पे you can access the assignments, your resources, anything. Okay. अब मम्मी दिख रहा है कैमरा. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance, guys. Uh, ठीक है. हाय एवरीवन. घर की कहानी, करेक्ट करेक्ट, घर घर की कहानी होती है. सो या मतलब इट हैपन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. ओके. सो ठीक है. ठीक है. So moving forward, what I will do here is I'll give you a small intro about what exactly CipherSchools is all about. So we are actually a learning platform where we help students to basically learn the concept, the domains which they are interested. Okay. So if we'll talk about the Cypher schools, so we have multiple domains, we have multiple programs which are available, and those are entirely free. It's not nothing like a paid one, hum kuch kara rahe, nothing like that. Okay. So before moving forward, let me present my screen first. Okay, and help me with the chat, guys, ki whether it's available or visible or not. Okay. So just a second. Okay. So is it available, guys? Visible? Can you guys see my screen? You can write in the chat if it's visible. I guess it's visible. You can write. Okay, got it. So, okay, got it. Thank you. So, I'll give you a small intro, okay, how you guys can submit the assignment, how you can access the resources, any kind of a thing. Okay. So, as you guys have enrolled to the bootcamp, you have mentioned your email ID, right? So that email ID, you will get the access of the bootcamp. Okay. So if I'll show you, so this will be updated in next 1 hour. Okay, all the section you can be taken, matlab you can use it within an hour. Okay, so the thing is ki once you have visited cypherschools.com, okay, so you guys need to sign up an account using the same email which you have given during the registration process. Okay, And here you can mention, let's say, Sanskar. This is my this one. Okay, wrong password. Let me check this. Yeah. Okay. So here you will get a panel. Okay, the home screen. In the left corner, you will get one section called batches. Okay. Here you can access your game development bootcamp. This is the past one which we did, the Python programming, and now this is the game development bootcamp. So from here you guys can access, and here you can also access like day one, day two of the link of the particular session as well as the community session as well. Okay. And here we will be sharing the resources, what and all things covered during the bootcamp, and if there is any assignment, okay, we'll update here. Okay, so this is a small intro which you guys need to know. All you need is to just sign up using the same email ID which you have given during the registration process, and you can easily access the batches section. If in case you have any facing any challenges issue, we have the WhatsApp community, so you can write your doubt, your query over there, and we will resolve it. Okay. Okay, so that is enough from my side. Yeah, this is my second bootcamp. Earlier I did in C++, and this is the second. Got it. Great. Welcome to the another bootcamp. Okay, so without wasting another couple of minutes, let me invite our mentor. So, hi, Adiras. So, am I audible?
Yeah. Hi, Sanskar. Can you hear me?
Hi, sir. Yes, sir, I can hear you. I guess you have seen the family disturbance background. Mom came
Yeah, yeah.
out all of a sudden. Then students are like कि घर घर की कहानी.
That's
By the
why I
way,
just
आपके
locked my
sir.
door.
Nice. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So, sir, मतलब welcome to this session, and I just want to know कि थोड़ा सा आप briefing दे पाओ before we start with the entire session of the game
Yeah, yeah.
development.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So first of all, I would like to say hi to all the participants who have joined in the boot camp, and I hope I'm audible to everyone. Anything that you feel screen is not visible, audio is breaking, feel free to drop in the chat that query. Okay. Yeah, so first of all, welcome everyone. My name is Adhiraj, and I'll be your mentor, you can say, for the next today and tomorrow. We'll be going through this game development bootcamp, right? Uh, just to get you guys, what are we gonna do? Like, let's set the agenda first. What is this bootcamp is about, right? So, if I just want to let you let to know from you guys. You can drop in the chat. Like, is this the first time you guys are getting introduced to the uh, game development kind of thing, or anything related to the gaming side, or it's like you have already done this in the past by you have taken some course, you have done the self practice, anything like that. So whatever you are, whatever is your level, if you can just drop it in the chat, right? So I get to have an idea over here because to set the agenda initially, what I'm going to be telling you guys is that key this thing over here is to introduce you guys to a new technology, right? You might not have heard about how games are made, right? You don't know how things work in the gaming industry. You might have some doubts. How does the gaming job looks like? What all we do, uh, what are our daily tasks, right? All these doubts you might be having. Maybe you want to have your career in the game development side, or maybe you are just learning it for the fun, just for the sake of learning a new technology. Anything you can be at any level, right? So this boot camp is to introduce you to a new technology, right? uh, we are going to be like there are so many ways games are made, but we are taking one path. I'll be telling what path we are taking over here. So we'll be taking one path. We'll be learning how games are made using that path, but it's not just the only path. There are other ways also to make games, right? So Whether you are a beginner over here, I'll be introducing you to how to get set up, how to start, right? And on the way, along the way, we'll be making a project, right? Now, don't worry if you don't know about coding over here. The code, like, obviously we need coding in games, right? You might be familiar with some programming language. Any programming language you're familiar with, it'll work, right? We are not gonna be doing a very we are not going to be doing a very heavy coding boot camp. This is not be a very heavily coded boot camp. It is just going to be a very light boot camp, just to make you introduced to a new technology, just to make you guys familiar with something new. And we're going to be making a project today and tomorrow, and uh, then you will have something to showcase. A working live project we'll be having, and at the end, we also gonna like see. Uh, if a game is made, how you can make a game for your laptop, for your Android, for your iOS, and different things, right? So yeah, I guess we are good to go.
Got it. So thank you so much, Adhiraz sir. Before moving forward, can you help us with what exactly tools and technology we are looking कि
Sure.
student will get to learn in this bootcamp?
Yeah, sure, sure. So as I told you earlier, there are so many different ways to get started with the game development. But this bootcamp, we would be needing one gaming engine and one programming language. Okay. So the programming language we're going to be using is C Sharp. If you're not familiar with C Sharp, it's okay. It's very similar to Java. If you are familiar with Java, if you're familiar with C++, if you are familiar with any programming language, it's okay, because we are not doing heavy coding stuff over here, right? So the programming language is C Sharp we're going to be using, and the gaming engine we will be using is Unity. Okay, it's a very beginner friendly gaming engine. Anyone who wants to start up their gaming journey, it's, I guess it's the best engine over there that you can start learning. And it's very, the learning curve of Unity is very linear. Like you go step by step. You know, don't you will not see like something as sharp learning curves in Unity. So it's very comfortable, and I hope you guys will have fun.
Got it. So before wasting another time, we can start with the session. If you want to share the screen, sir, you can share it. I will
Yeah,
present
I'll
it
share it. Yeah,
over here.
sure.
And meanwhile, guys, if you have any doubt, you can drop it here. We'll take it one by one. Okay. And if you have another doubt, let's say event khatam hone ke baad, if you are facing any issues or any difficulty, you can directly write your queries or anything on the community. I guess most of the people have joined the community. If you have, by chance, if I have missed it, so I will share the link in the this one chat itself. You can join it from there. Okay. So over to you, Dransa. I have shared your screen as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to you guys. Okay, cool. So guys, first of all, obviously we'll be starting up with the very basic thing. What is game development and all, right? I'm not gonna be boring you guys with all the theory and all. We're gonna be keeping this workshop very practical, right? So first of all, you guys might have played a lot of games over the time, right? And you guys might be curious how things are made, right? Now, whenever we are saying that we want to make a game, we can make a game in command prompt also. Like we can make a game in terminal also. It's okay. You can make a game over there also. But what we do is we use these gaming engines that are being built by some companies which are free and maybe paid to use, right? So what a gaming engine will do is a gaming engine will help to uh, let's say you are making a game in which you are having a player, and the player is jumping, right? Now the player is jumping with some force, the player is landing with some force, the player is moving with some acceleration. all these physics is coming in hand, right? Now I don't have to myself code for the physics part. The gaming engine is taking the care of the physics, right? So let's say I am creating a game in which I am adding some visuals, I am adding some colors, I'm adding some textures, some materials. Now these textures and materials are taken care by the gaming engine. It basically helps us to solve the problem that we don't have to do everything from our end. Some things are done already by the engine, right? So that is why we'll be using an engine to make a game, right? And next up, whenever we are creating a game, obviously we can create a game without code also. Like there are so many tools and technologies and AI, right? Especially there is uh, AI which is helping to write the code without actually you writing the code, right? You just have to write in English. The prompt and everything is done. But obviously, if you want to be a good developer, you have to learn a coding language. You have to learn a programming language, and yes, you have to learn a programming language to make a game. You can do it without the language also, but I will not recommend that part right now. I want you guys should focus on the programming language also, right? So first of all, let's come to the part of what things you will be needing to get started in your machine. Okay. So first of all, you have to go on this website over here, unity.com/downloads. Okay. So over here, you will see that we have an option over here, download the Unity Hub. Okay. Now, the gaming engine over here, gaming engine is like different versions I'm having, right? Let's say right now, a new version has been released. There are some older versions. All of these versions, modules, everything is taken care by the Unity Hub. So we need to have a Unity Hub in our system to get started with. Okay. Inside the Unity Hub, we will be downloading the engine. Okay. So Unity Hub is like the portal from where you will be managing all the versions and modules of your engine, of your Unity. Okay. So over here, you will see the options for all the downloads for the Windows, Mac, and Linux. So it is available over here. Okay. I guess I saw one comment also. Unity works for Linux also. Yes, it works perfectly on all the operating systems. Whatever the operating system you are having over here, just download that. Okay. So let's say I'm having Mac over here. So I'll click on Mac. If you're having Windows, click on Windows. Once you click it, a setup will get downloaded. It will like a normal setup, double click on it, install, as simple as that. You don't have to do anything. Just next, install, done. Okay. So just download the setup from here. And once it is downloaded, you will see something like this without the project list over here, right? So these are my project lists, but you will see this as an empty, and you will see the some panel like this. Okay, so if you are downloading it for the first time, it will auto recommend you to download a version. But if it is not recommending, if you want to install according to you, so what you do is, first of all, this screen will be visible. Then you go to the install section. Okay. Over here, I'll be installing the Unity. Right now, I have installed the Unity Hub. Okay. Now I will be installing the versions of Unity, like in which the gaming engine I'm installing over here, right? So there are different versions. So you can click on this install editor button. Like now I'll be installing the editor. Okay. And you will see some different versions of Unity over here, 2021, 2022, 2021, point something, like, right? And then we have this latest Unity 6. You can ignore this for now. But I would say that whatever you see as the latest, and make sure that LTS is written on the right side of this. Whatever the version you see, just download that. It's okay. Doesn't matter, right? So maybe 2022 something you can download with the LTS icon over here. Just click on install. Okay. Once you click on install, you will see this tab over here. Now, this tab will be asking you to install some things with your Unity editor. You can do it later on also, but if you are downloading it, you can select it from here also. Like, for example, first thing it will be asking you to download is a Visual Studio Code. So this is like the code editor in which you will be writing the code. So you can install this, although you can integrate other coding editor also, but I guess this is the compatible one, right? If you download this, it is some everything is like automated. You don't have to set up anything in this, right? So just check this, right? Then we have the options of all the platforms over here, right? So I see Android. If you want to build a game for Android, you need to have an Android build support. If you want to build for the iOS. So you see over here, there are a lot of options, right? Like for example, WebGL. If you want to create a WebGL game, so you need to have this module installed, and so on, right? Don't It doesn't matter about these language packs for now, so you can ignore it. You can also ignore the documentation, and for now, I would just recommend you to, if you are doing it for the first time, maybe you can just have the Android and you can have the iOS. You might not be needing a lot, right? So just check these two maybe, and it will take some time to get installed. So the size is 2.4 GB, around two. Both of them are like around 4 GB, right? Plus uh, around 600 MBs over here, right? So it will take some time to install. So just click on continue, and it will just install. Okay. So this is the first step that you will be doing. Uh, Next one is there is this issue that sometimes you get, right? And that issue is related to uh, the license of Unity. Okay, now there is a free license that you need to have. If it is asking that license is not registered, so it will give a prompt to you. Okay, so if you are getting that issue over here, just click on this setting button that you see over here. If there is an issue, like this might not come to everyone, but if you're getting it, just click on the preferences, click on the licenses over here. Okay, and if you are not logged in, it will first ask you to log in. If I go over here, so you see I'm logged in over here, right? So you have to log in first, and then click on the licenses. I have this personal license with me. If you don't have, you can just click on add, and then over here you will see get a free personal license. Just click on it, and the license will be added. Now this will not occur to everyone, but if you are having this issue, that's how it will be solved. Okay. So that's the part of license. Okay. And once this is done, everything is installed, everything is uh, you know perfectly done, then you will see something like this empty, and now you can start creating your project. Okay, you can start creating your first project over here. How will you do it? Just click on the new project, right? Over here, just click on the new project, and then we have some pre-built templates. You don't have to worry about templates right now. Just simply choose 3D template. Okay, this one. Just simply choose this one. Don't have to worry about anything. And then on this side, you can give a name to your project, right? So for example, I'll say uh, game dev workshop Unity series. Okay, so I have given some name to this. You can give a path. You can, uh, yeah, just these two are important. Just ignore this for now. Cloud and all, don't worry. So just do this and just click on create project. Okay, so that's it. That's how we are done with the setup. We are done with the installations, and we are ready to build a game. So if everything is clear till now, you guys can just write yes in the chat. If there is any doubt, you can write your doubt over here. Okay, and the project is ready. Okay, cool. So once you are in the Unity editor over here, this is not something that you will see initially when you enter the Unity editor. It will look something like this, right? So doesn't matter. We can customize the layout, but initially when you enter in your first time when you install the editor, install the Unity, you enter in the Unity, it will look something like this. Okay. So let me just first of all uh, try to explain what do you see over here, right? So there are different parts of the Unity editor that you see. On this side, you see this hierarchy, right? You see the hierarchy over here. Then over here, you see a scene window, and you also see a game window. There are two windows over here, right? And on this side, you see an inspector window on the extreme right. Over here, you see the project window, okay? And then you also see a console window, okay? Now, these are the default windows that you will see initially, okay? And these are the only windows we'll be needing right now. We don't have to add anything. We don't have to delete anything. And what what are these windows? I'll be discussing about that also. But these windows are something like I can take hierarchy. I can put hierarchy anywhere I want according to my need, like how I want to set up my working area. Okay, so I have just rearranged the windows a bit. So that actually looks like this. So don't get confused. We just have to worry about this is my scene window. This is my game window. This is the console I have. This one. Then this is the hierarchy over here. This is the project over here, and then the inspector. So that's how I arranged it. Okay, that's it. So let's discuss how things are gonna be working in the editor. Okay. So first of all, I'll talk about hierarchy. Now, hierarchy is the window in which, or you can call it a panel. Okay. So hierarchy is the panel in which we have this sample scene. Now, what is the sample scene? The thing that you see over here in your scene. This is your sample scene. So scene is the one that you see when you play the game, right? All the assets, all the characters, all the the playing area, the buildings, the water bodies, the roads, everything is like placed over here and arranged over here, right? So the what you see in the game is arranged in the scene, and this hierarchy is the representation of all the elements that are present in the scene. Okay, as simple as that. So over here, I see a sample scene, and currently this is my default scene that you see. In this, I have this main camera. If I just click on the main camera, if I double click on the main camera, I'll see it is highlighted over here, right? And you can use your mouse to scroll in the scroll wheel of the mouse, or if you are having a laptop, you can use two-finger scroll. So this is like the camera. Now, whatever is visible in the this, you see this part over here. Whatever is visible in this view of the camera will be your game view. Okay, and then I'm having this light. Okay, just two things over here. That's it. Okay, so we will be building a scene now. We will be creating a scene over here, and whatever is in the scene, whatever my camera sees, that you will see in the game view. Like for example, if I right click on this hierarchy, right, and let's say I go to 3D object and I just add a cube. Simple, nothing else. So a cube has been added. I can click on enter. So right now, you see, when I have selected the cube, in the inspector, I am seeing the properties of the cube. Like everything that is related to the cube is seen over here, right? If I click on the main camera, I'll see everything related to the main camera seen over in the inspector. So inspector is basically the representation of all the properties of that particular. So these are known as game objects. Okay. The main camera, the directional light, the cube that I have added, all these are the game objects. So all the properties that are related to the game objects are shown in the inspector. So that's why we use inspector. Okay. So we have understood the scene view, we have understood the game view, we have understood the hierarchy, we have understood the inspector. Now, if I see the cube over here, if I double click on the cube, this is the cube that has been added, but it is not visible in the game. Why? Because if you see the properties of the cube is positioned on x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, but it is -10. So the position is not correct. So if I make this z-axis as 0, now you see uh, my camera can see the cube, right? It is in the field view of the camera. So now you see the cube is visible in the game scene. So whatever I place over here, so if I again click on the cube, so when I click on the cube, you see these arrows that are coming over here, right? So if I just hold uh, the left click of the mouse, so and drag it, so you see over here, right? So I have these arrows. So this red is the x-axis. I can hold and I can, move it on the x-axis, right? I have this green for the Y up and down. Three axes I have in the 3D world. I can move it up and down. And then the blue is for the Z. So I can move it on the Z axis. So I can move it anywhere in the space. If I just hold it from here, I can move it freely also, right? You can see my cube is moving freely. And you see over here, the transform is changing, right? The position is changing on X, Y, and Z. If I'm moving with the green, the Y is changing, right? If I just click on three dots and click on reset, it will again be on 0, 0, 0. So we have studied in the maths, right? The coordinate system, the center is 0, 0, 0. So right now it is at the center. This cube is at the center of the this scene. Okay, cool. I'll just right click on it and I'll again delete it. Okay, cool. Then we have the project window. So project window will basically contains all the things that I need to build the project, right? So what do I need? I need some models, some character models, some 3D models, 2D models, whatever. I would be needing some scripts. I would be needing some textures, materials, anything that you need to build up your scene. It's like the storage area from where you will pick up the things and you will apply on the scene. So everything you will see over here. Right now, what do I have? I just have a sample scene, nothing else. Okay. So there is only a sample scene over here. There is nothing else. But whatever I need to build up the scene, I will be putting that in the project. Okay. So think of it like your C and D drive. You have all the data, all the photos, all the images, all the videos, all the audios in that on in those drives, right? And you can use it wherever you want. So that's how the project works. And then I have this console. So console is like the debug, the terminal. So whatever the you know messages I want to print, whatever the debug statements, console log, whatever you can think of. So all of them will be displayed over here. Okay, so this is the basic introduction of how a Unity engine looks like. Okay, now comes the part that what all things you need to build your project. So this is, I told you guys, this is not this is a boot camp in which we are learning a new technology. So we are not going to do everything from scratch. We are not going to write the code for everything. We're going to be taking help of some assets. So if some things are already made for us, we can just go, we can use them, we can import it, and we can start using it. Okay. So there are a lot of assets that are available. So there is an asset store that is available for Unity. Okay. And we can use it. So what I'll be doing is, Sanskar, can you also drop the link over here that I shared with you in the chat? So I'll be sharing a link with you guys. Okay. There is this one link that we will be using, and we'll be using two things over here to get started with the project over here. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Sanskar
Will
will
be
be
sharing.
dropping a link over. Yeah, Sanskar. You can share it in the comments. Yeah. So
Okay.
there
Okay.
will
I'll
be
share.
one link shared by Sanskar over here. Okay. So we going to be using that link. So let me just also show you that how that link will look like. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just share this. I think I have not shared the screen. Let me share the screen again. Just a second. Okay, yeah, cool. So I have shared the screen again with you guys. Yeah. So this is the link that we're gonna be sharing with you guys. And when you open that link, it is a GitHub link. Okay. So there is this one asset which is known as a Unity standard asset. We're going to be using this asset. Okay. And what you have to do is just click on the link. You will see this screen. Just click on this green button and click on download zip. That's all. Done. Okay. So this asset will be downloaded. Now, this asset is basically was used earlier. It was available on the asset store. So there is a store that is available for Unity. So if you just search in Google Unity Asset Store, okay, you will see this link, the first link, assetstore.unity.com, and you will find a lot of assets that you can use. Some pre-built, some pre-built things that you can directly import and start using. There are a lot of free assets available over here, right? So earlier the standard assets used to be over here, but it got deprecated. But it's a very good very good asset that we can use. It is very easy to use, and it can be helpful in your upcoming projects also, right? So what you have to do is first the link that has been shared with you. Just click on the link. Just click on the green button. Just download the zip. So this is the one asset that has been there, which is with you. Okay. Second asset that you will be using is, so you go to the search bar and you search for SYNTY. Okay. So there is this a free asset that is given by this studio. So you go to the search bar and click on filters and select the free filter so that all the things are free. You will see. So the first one that you will see is the one that we'll be using. Okay. So starter pack, Cinti Polygon, stylized, low poly 3D art. This is the asset we'll be using for our game. Okay. So how to import assets is the next step we're going to be understanding. So just click on it. Very simple. Just click on the asset. If it is paid, you have to pay for it. If it is free, it's free. So what you have to do is just click on the assets. If you have not already downloaded it, you will see a download option over here. Okay. You just click on it and make sure that you are signed in with the same account on the asset store also. If you have signed in with the same account on the Unity Hub and on the asset store, then it will be automatically like added to your assets in the Unity Hub, in the Unity editor. Okay. So just I'll just click on open in Unity over here, and let me just show you over here. So what if you are already signed in, you will be directly redirected over here. But what if you are not redirected? What you do is you go to Windows, you go to Windows, and then you go to Package Manager. Okay. So this Package Manager will have all the assets that I have. I have downloaded, I have some inbuilt, anything. So in this, you will see this option over here, packages in project. Now click on this and go to my assets. Okay. So I want to see my assets over here. So it will just fetch all the assets that you have. And whatever the asset you have, you will see over here. I'll just load more. And the one that I downloaded was, where is it? This one. Uh, starter pack. Let me just search it. Yeah, so this is the one that I have downloaded, right? So this has been downloaded in my Unity editor. Okay, just understand this. From the asset store, I have added it over here. Now I have to import it, right? So now I have to import it. So what you do is once it is downloaded, you just click on the import button. So select this one and click on import. And these are all the things that you will be getting when you import. So just click on import button. Okay. If you have any doubt, please you can drop it in the chat, whatever the doubt you have regarding anything. Okay. So once you have imported it, you see in my assets folder, I have a new folder added that is Polygon Starter and have all the things that I need over here, right? So a lot of things have been downloaded. So first thing is I have downloaded assets from the asset store, and the second one is I would be needing a the one that you that I've sent the link to you guys, right? So second is one is that one. So once you have downloaded it, what you do is just simply drag and drop it over here in the assets. Just drag that folder and drop it over here. That's it. Download it, drag and drop, and it will just take some time. So yeah, that's it. Done. Okay, that's all. We have downloaded asset folder, drag and drop, done. And one we have added from the Unity asset store. So just download from there and done. Okay. So we have two things over here. One is this Polygon starter pack and one is this standard assets. Okay. These two things will help me to create my project. Okay. Right now, if I go to console, I see some errors over here. Don't worry about it. We will solve it later on. Okay. So once this is done, what you do is the one that we have downloaded, Polygon Starter Pack. Okay. Yeah. So this will be available. This recording will be available on the YouTube. Don't worry. You can watch later on. If you're missing some step, you can watch later on. Right now, you can just follow along. And if you're not, you miss something, you can rewatch it. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. So what you do is once you have imported this asset from the asset store, okay. So this polygon is providing me a inbuilt scene. Like I can just start creating my project. Okay, I don't have to actually go and import everything and set up everything. So everything is done for me. I can just simply start creating my game. So you go to this Polygon starter pack and you go to scenes. So this has its own scenes. So double click on the demo and we have this scene. So this inbuilt scene has been already created for me. I can just simply start adding my logic over here. Okay. Now this thing over here that you see, I can modify it. Like everything is modifiable. You don't have to worry. What should I do? I don't want this thing over here. I don't want this house over here. I don't want this tree. It's okay. Everything is modifiable. Okay. You can design this scene according to you. So you don't have to worry about how things are going to be working. How should I plan to design? We don't have to spend the time on the designing. We have to worry about how to start playing the game, right? So the designing part is already done for me. But if you want to design, if you want, what you do is, uh, let's say, I'm just going to take an example over here. Okay. So let's say maybe you don't want this car, for example. You don't want this car. So when I click on the car got selected. And you see in the hierarchy, this game object got selected. Okay. So this game object over here is basically the car. Okay. You can choose to delete it from the scene. Or maybe you want to move the car. So you can just use these drag handles and you can move it anywhere you want, right? Let's say I want to rotate the car. So you see this panel over here. So we have this one. The first one that you see, this is the move tool. The second one that you see is the rotate tool. So you select the car, you click on rotate button, and you see the things has changed a bit. Now we are getting these circles. So if I want to rotate, I can grab this red circle and I can rotate the car. You see in the game view, my car is rotating. Okay. So anything you want to do with any game object, it's very simple. Just go, just select it, delete it, modify it, move it, anything you want, you can do it. You can design this scene according to you. Okay. If let's say I want to hide it. So I select this in the inspector. This is the game object. I can click on this. It is hidden. I can unhide it. Okay. I can set the rotation back to 0. So if this is normal, right? So anything that you don't want, you want to modify, feel free to redesign the scene according to you. Okay. And once we have this scene over here, this demo scene, now you see there are a lot of things added over here. So along with the main camera, now I have a demo objects, one game object, which is having further a lot of things, right? And I also have this simple sky dome, right? So a sky, this sky that you see over here, right? The sky that you see over here, this has been created, and some lights, right? So now this is the different scene. The one that we were working with was different scene. That was a sample scene that was provided by the Unity. But this demo scene is provided by this asset pack that we downloaded. Okay. So demo, this one. Okay. So now next up, we're gonna be adding a character in a game, right? We're gonna be adding a some character that can actually move, right? So right now, what we are doing is we are basically trying to create a game, and we are trying to say that there will be a player. I can move that player. I can make the player run. I can make the player jump. I can make the player slide, whatever I want. Those are the animation part, right? I can do all of that. And when I am making those things, I need to have a game idea also. I need to have how the game will work. I can just not simply make a game in which the player is running freely. Like people will get bored after some time. So I need to add some. Now this is known as game design, right? I need to basically plan how to make my game interesting. I might be needing to do some tasks, right, in order to achieve something, or maybe I can have those tasks, and those those are giving me some rewards. Maybe I should be completing the task in a given amount of time, right, just to make the player feel a rush. So these are the design things. Like we need to plan the game that okay, my game is doing something, but how can I make my player hook to my game that the player is not able to leave the game? How can I make a my player to feel a rush that okay, I have to do this, right? Those things comes under the design part, game designing. Okay. And the thing that we see that there is a player, I want to write a code to make the player move, to make the player jump, to maybe make the player collect coins. Those things are like giving a brain to my game. That is the game programming. Okay. So these two are different things. We are right now, we are doing the game programming part, right? We are basically making a game. We are giving a brains to the game. But when we are creating a game, we need to keep in mind the game design also. Okay. So right now, if I just see over here, I see some characters that are standing over here, right? So if I just select this one, so this is the character that I see. So this is the character. Then I have this another character also, right? Maybe I can use this character. I already have a character. And when I click on the character over here, you see inspector has changed, right? This character is having a transform. That means position, rotation, and scale. And this is having an animator. That means it is having some animations in it that I can be using to move my player, right? Similarly, for the female character, I am having different things over here, right? So I can be using this part, this thing over here. Okay. So now comes the part that we have downloaded standard assets. So I told you guys that standard assets give me a very easy way to do these all. We don't have to code from scratch, right? We already have these inbuilt things that are given to us. We can directly use them and start running our game. Okay. So what you do is I'll just close this one, and then I would want my player uh, to do some running, jumping, and all. So for that, what I'll do is, so look this part very carefully. I'll go to my Unity standard assets. Okay, this folder. Inside this folder, I'll go to standard assets. Now I have a lot of some pre-designed or pre-built assets. Okay, so what I want is I want a character. What kind of character I want? So there is a first. I hope you guys understand what is for FPS and this TPS. So I am going to be using a third person. Okay, so third person. I'll go to prefab, and then I see this third person controller. Right now, this third person controller is the one I'll be using. So I'll just simply drag and drop it in my hierarchy. Okay. Now, if I double click on it, you see a character has been added over here, right? So this character that you see over here is pre-built by the standard assets for me. I can directly start using it. Okay. But the character doesn't go with the style of my game. I want to use this character only, right? I want to use this character only. So this one, the male character. So what I'll do is I will just first of all I'll just drag it out. So I'll just drag it and place it somewhere over here. So it is out of this. Then what I'll do is uh, basically this third person controller over here that you see, this is having a character named Ethan. Now Ethan is having a body. If I just hide the body, you see it is now disappeared, right? The body has been disappeared. And there is one more thing, glasses. Okay, so it was also having wearing some glasses. If I disable the body, glasses are still there. It is a different game object. I need to disable the glasses also. Okay, cool. So, and I have the skeleton of the Ethan, and the skeleton further is having. So I don't want to change these because There is when I have a character in my game, when the character is designed. So these things that you see over here, the skeleton part, uh, we don't want to mess with this because this is set by the designer. Okay, so I'll just leave it like this only. But I want to use this character in third person. So I'll just drag it inside my third person. Okay. And right now the position is different. So I'll just click on the three dots and reset. Okay. Now what I'll see is the third person controller is having the all things which are the this my default character was having, right? And I have hidden the Ethan body and Ethan glasses. So I can just now this will act as my third person controller. Okay. This will be the player in front of my camera, moving, jumping, whatever I am doing, right? But one more thing over here. So what I see over here is when I click on my third person over here, this one. So I have a transform, I have an animator. In my animator, I see one thing over here, avatar, right? So this avatar over here is having Ethan avatar. That means it is still working on the Ethan body, right? I don't want it to work on Ethan body. Instead, I want it to work. I'll just click on the circle. I want to work on the character avatar, this one. So I'll select this one. Okay. Now the third person will work on this avatar, the one that I have added. Okay. Now I'll just do a save, control S save. And if I try to play the game, okay, I had some errors over here. Okay, so guys, when you will import a standard assets, you might face these errors over here. What you do is just double click on these errors. It will automatically open the error in the VS Visual Studio. Okay, and you don't have to worry about it. Like these are errors happening because of the standard error, because I told you in the beginning that standard assets has been deprecated, right? So that's why it is coming. It's okay, we'll fix it. Just double click on it, it will open, it will just take some time to load. So we will just look at the error, what the error is saying, and then we will fix it. It's okay because we want our standard assets to run, right? So let's see what are the errors over here, and it is loading. Okay, it has loaded, and the error which is coming is this GUI text over here. So what it is saying is deprecated. Okay, so this part is deprecated. The GUI text is obsolete. We have to use UI text instead. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to just say UI. Okay, you have to import it. So just go on the top. So you can just do copy this whatever I'm doing. So just write using Unity Engine dot UI. You have to import this namespace, and over here you can just say text. That's it. Error is gone. Okay. So just write these two lines just to avoid this error. Now look at the next error. So I'll again double click on it. It will open. So again, I have this texture over here. I guess this is deprecated. I'll just comment this out. I'll just add a double slash to comment this out. That's all. Errors are gone. Okay. So I'll just now clear it. Everything is fine. I'll just go back to my game view. And these are warnings. Don't worry about the warnings. Errors are gone. And now if I run the game, I guess it should work now. There it is. Now you see my Ethan, Ethan is gone. This character is now having those animations and all. Like it is actually there. It is actually doing some idle animation right now. If I try to press W, let me just click on the game. If I try to press W, it is moving. If I press S, D, A. Okay, cool. It is working. You can see in the game also it is moving, right? But not very clear. Like why? Because my camera is somewhere else. My camera is over here and my character is over there, right? So I need to adjust the camera also. But yes, we can see in the scene. The game is the one that the user will see. So we have to adjust the game, right? But yes, my character is now working fine. Cool. So this is the play button, like this button that you see on the top. That's how you play the game, right? Once you have done all the things, you have done all the fixes, just click on this play button and the game will run. Okay, you can play the game in the editor and check how the game is behaving, how the game is performing, right? Cool. Next up, what I need to do is I need to do something with the camera. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a camera that is given by standard assets. So I'll go back to the standard assets again. Okay. You will see something like this. Now in the standard assets, I see another folder cameras. So I'll click on the cameras over here and I'll go to prefab again. And now I have all these different type of cameras over here, right? I have a CCTV camera, free look camera, handheld camera, multi-purpose camera. Like, so different kind of cameras. Like different, they are behaving in different ways, right? I will be using a free look camera. Okay, so I'll just drag and drop this component in the demo. Okay, now right now it is you see the game view has changed because I am looking at the game via this camera. I can delete my main camera. I don't need this. I can delete this. I right click, delete. Now this is the camera from which I am looking at my game view. Okay. Now if I click on the camera, you see a inspector over here and I have a transform, I have a rigid body, I have a free look cam. There is a script attached on it, right? Inside the script, there is a option to add a target. That means which target you want this camera to follow. So I want my third person controller to be followed. So I'll just drag and drop it over here. That's all done. Okay. Now, if this will automatically adjust itself, don't worry about the placement right now. Just play the game and there it is. See, I am able to move my camera with my mouse and I can run the character with WASD over here. If you I want to just so basically you can just go over here and if you want to run the game in the full mode, you can choose this thing over here, play maximized, this option. Okay. So there it is. I can look around. I can, with my camera, I can move my player. It is moving with spacebar. I can jump. I can, with the C, I can crouch. Cool. It's working fine. So my basic movement is ready. It's not jumping. Cool. So my basic movement is ready, right? But obviously, this is not a very interesting game right now. Like, obviously, what I see is it's not a like, what do I have to do? I don't have anything to do, right? I need to add a logic in the game to make it interesting. So that's the thing that comes under game design, right? So now I have to think of a logic over here. See what things I can add in my game in order to make my game interesting. And that is something that we're going to be discussing in tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay. So guys, if you like you can drop in the chat also if everything is clear and all, right? We have created a scene. We have understood how the editor looks like. We have used some assets so that we can don't have to do everything from scratch. Okay, so we have created a very basic game without any purpose right now. We have to add a purpose in the game. Okay, and yeah, Sanskar, are you there?
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Sanskar, we are done for today's session, and
Okay.
tomorrow we're gonna be continuing with the next phase of the game, adding the game logic,
Got
adding
it.
the
Got
the code
ठीक
part.
है.
Yeah,
Right. Got it. So now what we can do here is कि if the student have any doubts or anything regarding the game, so they can ask either in the community or in the chat. Okay. And
sure.
one more thing is key if they have any assignment that will be reflected directly in the batches section. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, one second, just a second.
So
Hello.
even if you have a doubt right now, also you guys can drop it in the chat, right? Like we have, I'll be addressing the doubt here also. If you have any doubt, you can feel free to drop it in the chat also.
Right. And additionally, we have also planned that we are giving away the free playlist of another project which is made by Adhiraz sir, and that will be available on CipherSchools.com. So once after the entire bootcamp is finished, the project is made, then we will releasing another project which is a kind of a self-paced video where you can also learn to build another game on the Unity. So that will be also there. So stay tuned for the more sessions and the thing concepts, guys. And if you have any doubt, you can ask right here or you can drop in the chat as well. Meanwhile, I have also shared all the email to the students who have registered at the Cypher schools, and they have received the batches section as well. So if those having any issues while accessing the batch section, they can directly ping on the WhatsApp. Okay. So that is it from my side. And yeah, thank you so much, Adhiraj sir. The session was really fun. Basically, जब वो moment आया था ना character में, so it feel like I am playing something. Oh, the that real touch of the moment, वो थोड़ा सा interesting लगा
Yeah,
मुझे.
it will get
Which
interesting tomorrow when we will add the game
right.
design logic. Yeah.
Right, right, right. So, एक चीज से बताना final what we are building. If you want to tell anything about the entire
Yeah.
game which we're building.
So as I told during the session that we are going to be, whenever we are creating a game, we need to have a purpose in the game, right? So
Right.
tomorrow session, we'll be adding the purpose. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically, the game will have the features or the functionalities
Mhm.
of a countdown timer, and there will be some elements to collect in the world that we have created before the
Got it.
runs out, right? And we'll also
Mhm.
be understanding how to work with the UI, right? How the
Mhm.
UI part looks like, right? So,
Mhm.
how to create your menus and maybe some screens and all. That is also we're going to be understanding tomorrow, along with some coding logic. So even if you
Mhm.
guys are not familiar with the uh, you know C sharp,
Mhm.
even if you don't have familiar. So don't worry. Any programming language you have the basic knowledge, basic understanding, you guys will be able to understand what I'm trying to make you guys. Obviously you will not be able to learn anything in one day, right? You need some time and some dedication for
Right.
that. So, but the purpose of this thing over here, the purpose of this workshop that we are having is introducing you to how does this world looks like, how I hope you guys have uh, like you have understood how simple it is to actually build up such a interesting scene or such an interesting part of a game, right? So
Right.
you guys can, this is something like you have been you introduced to something new, and maybe if you are interested, you can further learn more about it. So tomorrow is about the coding. Tomorrow is about the logic building, adding the brains to the game, and UI.
Got it. Got it. So we also have the comments like कि Kavya Sharma. He also mentioned tomorrow gonna be an interesting day. So definitely it going to be
For sure,
interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and there is one more person. His name is Galaxy, I guess. Good to see people interested in a game development. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So, last two question I want to ask the answer. First is like कि uh, any recommendation whether अगर Unity पे game develop करना है, so what should be the ideal configuration of a laptop? Let's say those who are getting into the game development want to hands-on experience on Unity. So any recommendation कि
Yeah,
कोई
I guess,
configuration?
yeah, I guess depends on the level of project you are making, right?
Mhm.
If you are making a very high-end, high processing game, obviously you need a good computer. But I would
Right.
say when you're learning, when you're getting started, I guess a normal i5 can work for the Windows, right? Mac is fine. Mac will work. Don't worry about that. But for the Windows, I'm talking, don't have any much idea about the Linux part. But yes, for the Windows, I guess when you're learning, i3 might work. I'm not sure. I have not like tested on that. But
Mhm.
a normal 8 GB RAM i5 is enough to get started with, right? If you're learning, if you're just want to practice, you are not making a very high-end some. So there are these render pipelines that we have which are use some more memory, right? So if you're not going into that part, it's fine. Like you can start with just have to start. Even if you are having an i3, just start it. It's okay.
got it,
You have to
got it,
start somewhere. Yeah.
got it. And last question is कि let's say if someone is started developing game and वो game बना रहा है, so is it
Mhm.
mandatory that person should have a capability of storytelling to develop a game?
So depends what profile he is working. If he's a programmer, you don't have to worry about storytelling. That storytelling part is done by the game producer or the game designer, not the game programmer,
Got
right?
it, got it.
So the programmer are concerned about giving brains to the game, not
Hmm.
about concerned about how should I make my game look good or how to design the graphic or how to design the 3D models. You don't have to worry about that. That part is done by the what a programmer is basically we call them full stack game programmers, right?
Hmm.
So full stack game programmer is concerned about the front end, but not like creating the assets for front end, but designing the front end, which is given by the designer, like normal web dev, right? The
Hmm.
front end dev, right?
Right.
But not like creating the assets for that and front end and also the back end part like the coding, right? Also the networking, so connecting the Firebase, sending, receiving data, all of that databases, everything is done with a programmer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Multiplayer, right?
Hmm.
Multiplayer networking, that part is also done with a programmer,
Right.
making multiple people join in the game, right? That is also very
Hmm.
interesting part. So
Right.
these are the roles of a programmer, not designing how the game is gonna
Hmm.
progress.
Got it. Got it. So that is it from my side. And yeah, we'll see tomorrow upcoming session May, and we'll definitely make the session quite interesting, as Sir has mentioned. And yeah, thank you for joining everyone. Thank you so much, Adhiraj sir,
Sure.
for
I'll
the
see I'll see you
valuable.
guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
Sanskar.
sir.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Okay.
Bye. So that is it for the today session, guys. You can also watch this entire session later as well, because it will be available on the YT. And those who are facing issue with the batches section, which I have introduced earlier during the session, so they can directly drop the query in the community. Okay, I have already joined them in the WhatsApp community. If you have any doubt, you can ask over there. And if you guys have any assignment, most probably this time day one assignment is not there, maybe day two assignment is there, so we will update in the group. Okay, so thank you so much for joining the session, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so bye everyone. Bye bye. Sorry if you missed any comments, but yeah, it was great. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We are ending the session now. Okay, bye bye. Bye.